Yeah. Hi, I'm Bill Van Wee, as my wife just explained. I'm the son of Raymond Van Wee, who was one of the early donators to the Branford Land Trust. And I'm familiar with the property, having known it, as far as my memory tells me, back into the mid 20s. And we have some pictures here we can probably show you what it looked like then. It was a small hole in the ground that O.C. Kelsey from Stony Creek built a little cabin which he completed in October 1924. And so you might say in the summer of 25, we started coming down here for outings and just to get away from life uptown. And I have many memories of this place, and I'm looking around now at all the trees you see around here. It was initially an open lot, and the little trees, which are now big trees, were just shrubs where my father bought many of them and planted them here. So I joined the land trust after my father became involved with his donation, which was suggested to him by Mike Poshan, a forester from Guilford. And from that point on, he became involved with the land trust, and that's where he met Joan Burdick and Edith Blanchard and several others. And so my own involvement here came about in the mid 1980s after I stopped working for the Visiting Nurse Association. And the biggest thing I can tell you there that Malcolm Schwab and myself, with help from guys like Chet Bloomquist and Peter Borgermeister, we went out and we dug holes in the ground to plant fence posts and all sorts of, hard, weak mind, hard labor sort of stuff. And so we had a good time doing that. and now I'm still involved, but not very much, to the land trust activities because, as I already inferred, I'm getting a little older. You see, so as far as the history of the land trust is concerned, I'm going to hereby turn it over to Joan because she was very much involved in the entire origin of the Branford Land Trust. Thanks. Now, my mother, probably to show you her interest in preservation and natural things. She grew up in a reservation in California, and I don't know too terribly much about her early beginning, but that's where she began to love the land. And she moved east to go to Carlisle Indian School and then to the Worcester City School of Nursing, came to Branford around 1907, I guess, and met my father, who worked in the drugstore, and that's how they met, as far as I know. And her love of the land and the natural things was sort of built into her. And my father, on the other hand, his father, John Van Wee, was always out in the woods, what he called collecting specimens. He had a wonderful stuffed bird collection, including a passenger pigeon. And so he spent probably more time in the woods than he did working, but he was a naturalist built in. So that's the genesis of their interest in land preservation. Both of them had that, and I inherited that too. You see, so that's what became.
I'm Alice Van Wee, and I'm sitting here on this lovely day, September 7th, with my husband William Van Wee, and with Joan Burdick, who has worked tirelessly over the years to acquire property for the land trust. And her work focused on donations of land, which is quite admirable, I think. And we are sitting here in the yard of the house where Van and I lived for 15 years after our marriage in 1958. This small house was a cabin, and the Van Wee family would come here for outings. They lived on East Main Street, but my husband and his mother and father and his siblings came down here to relax and walk through nature trails when he was a small child. We added on to the house, as I said, and lived here before we built another house across the street. And the acreage for this area is approximately
2 and 8 tenths.
2 and 8 tenths.
Now, to give you a brief rundown on these parcels my father gave and my wife Alice and I gave later on, I'll show you on the map here that the 2 original parcels that my father gave right here, and then here later on, the next one was the Stiles lot, this pie-shaped piece right in here. That was given right down the road here, and that was owned originally by the Stiles Brickyard Company, and they had it because it cut down the trees to fire their kilns to make the bricks. And that was the Stiles lot. And then just south of the house where Alice and I live down here is the Mahan lot, named after the man from Stony Creek whom my father bought it from. And below that is the Cedar lot, which he purchased from another owner. And then that adjoins the 2 original lots he finally gave. So that's and then one lot around the pond here, that's part of the land that my wife and I gave in 1991, I believe.
Hi, it's Tom Cleveland, and today is Wednesday, September 12th, and I'm down by the Van Wee Pond. I'm going to show you a couple other things that Bill and Alice Van Wee have given to the Land Trust, and just give you a little broader perspective of how wonderful their gifts have been. First, here we have a wonderful granite boulder, which Darrell Petit and Nikki Fisher brought in. Darrell incised the rock so that he could fit the plaque in there. And there it is, donated to the Branford Land Trust for the people of Branford. It's right down here next to the beautiful Van Wee Pond that Bill and Alice have talked about. This used to be a meadow back in, I believe, 30s or 40s, something like that. Wonderful wild waterfowl spot looking for wonderful migrating ducks. It's a good place to come, and a fabulous skating pond in the winter time. Here's a big field of milkweed. Wonderful food for butterflies. Big, wonderful flowers for them. And their larvae love to eat the leaves too. There's a wonderful trail that goes up through here. Big boulders, glacial erratics. I mean, just look at that rock there. This is it's got some really modest lichen, but you can tell that the air quality is really pretty good when you get reasonable growth of lichen like this on these rocks. And as you can see, a lot of the trails back here are pretty flat and easy to negotiate. So they're very welcoming to even the beginning hiker. Lots of variety in this land too. I'm not sure, but I'd hazard a guess that most of these trees are second growth, probably 100, 150 years old, maybe younger. You got lots of mountain laurel, our state flower, or state bush probably. And good, doing very, very nice and healthy. There's quite a bit of mountain laurel in the understory here. We're up on the side of a hill. It slopes off to the west. This is the little creek that comes out of the Van Wee, Pond over there on Red Hill Road. And just trickles along through the forest here. Great promoter of diversity. All sorts of cool little species growing along its banks. And up there is the field that surrounds Bill and Alice's home. Bill and Alice gave this 4-acre piece that you see right over there between the stream and the field to the land trust in 2005. This is their latest gift. Bill says this used to be a road. It comes right through here. It would cross the stream there. Now you can see some big deer tracks around here. There's an old dead hemlock. Now that, I wonder how many years old that is. Probably more than 150 years old. There's another section of the trail. We're on the ridge that is running down south from Red Hill Road. East over here is the stream bed. You can't see it. And then west up here, top of the hill, is the big field. Let's follow this stone wall. Bet you leads up to the field. I could be wrong. You never get lost following stone walls. I think this is what they call the cedar parcel, piece of land that they called the cedar parcel. Lots of old cedars here. They're all getting crowded out by the maples and other deciduous trees that are growing up really quickly. These red cedars sprang up when it was all open and a cleared field around here. Look at that big guy. That's got to be you know, at least 12, 16 inches in diameter. See this tree? It's this is where the land trust comes to cut all of our big cedar posts so we can put up signs on our properties. Out in the big field again, September 12th, 2007. I don't know if everybody can see it, but they're big dragonflies cruising all over this field. You can see a lot of them. They're migrating now. Whoa, Mr. Monarch. Let's get closer to some of these flowers.